Welcome to Amputate to Elevate Success, the podcast where leaders in high-stakes transitions learn what it takes to cut away what no longer serves and elevate what truly matters. I'm your host, John Register. I started this podcast, because after losing my leg and reinventing my identity from U.S. Army combat veteran to Paralympic silver medalist, and then to executive leadership coach, I realized something profound. We don't overcome adversity. We adapt and innovate through it. And communication, honest and intentional, is the catalyst. This podcast is part of the Elevate Life Executive Series on Beehive, where we help leaders who are in the thick of change, whether they're pivoting careers or leading organizations through uncertainty or navigating rapid growth, find tools to communicate better, lead stronger, and live bolder. If this podcast gives you value, would you please do me a solid? Like it, share it, follow it. That's how we spread these messages to people who need it the most. All right, get ready for it. Today's guest is someone I deeply respect because he doesn't just talk about adapting, he lives it. Andy Berg is the executive editor of Athletic Business Magazine, where he leads a powerhouse editorial team that sets the tone for innovation in the fitness, recreation, and sports facility industries. He's a futurist with a journalist's curiosity, a servant leader with a publisher's precision, and a guy who's been guiding conversations around public-private partnerships for a very long time. The role of AI and wellness innovation, long before they were buzzwords. Andy booked me to keynote at the Athletic Business Show that's coming up in this November, or if you see this after that, when I was in November. And I knew then that this wasn't someone just organizing content. This was someone building platforms for transformation. He's also the former editor-in-chief of Wireless Week and holds an MFA in creative writing. You'll hear his clarity, his humility, and his passion in every word. So, what did Andy have to amputate in order to elevate himself? And what can you, as a leader, learn from his journey through uncertainty and empowerment? Well, stick around. We'll start the conversation right after this short intro. All right, everybody, I told you I have the man, the myth, the legend right here. I'm at the Athletic Business offices here in Madison, Wisconsin. Came in specialized because I just had to. We're going to have a great time. Andy Berg, ladies and gentlemen, he is the executive editor for the Athletic Business magazine. So thank you for taking a few moments out of your day.
Absolutely.
Really excited to come and speak to you all.
We're happy to have you.
What this show is all about, executives and how you think, how you can offer advice for other executives, like in your situation, in your sphere of influence, and how you might be able to elevate them. So the first question out of the gate is always, Andy, what did you have to amputate in order to elevate to your success that you have right now?
Sure. So I started as an associate editor in a different industry altogether, and I think as I kind of worked my way up and started managing more people, that was a big switch for me once I started leading a publication, and I think at first I thought, well, I need to lead, I need to make all the decisions, like this has to be, and I think the more that I realized, but I love my team because they're intelligent, they know what's happening, that what I really needed to do was respect that team and realize that I didn't need to make the decisions. All I needed to do was to put people in the position where we could all make the right decision together. Because ultimately, when we have 3 or 4 people on our editorial team for a publication that does 9 issues a year,
wow,
there's decisions that need to be made every single day. And if I don't have the help of my team, if I don't empower them, the product is less.
So would you say that you would have to amputate thinking that you had to do it all?
Yeah, I think there's, and I always have been a person that kind of thinks like, I got this, I can do this. And I think sort of giving up maybe control, but it wasn't like I need control, it was I just want to make sure it's done the right way.
Yeah.
And putting that trust in my team and really realize. I mean, I think somebody at a past conference called it being a servant leader, and I realized that's what I am.
Yeah.
And when I came into this position, I told my team, like, I'm going to be asking you guys what you think every step of the way, and that's kind of the way we do it, and I love it, and it's made for a great
Excuse me. One of the things I find is, in interviewing executives is, and similarly, is that's like a level of growth for the next iteration that I have to relinquish the control.
Yeah, absolutely.
In order to grow,
Yep.
and that's just a natural thing. What was like a step that you think that the switch that happened for you to have that understanding?
Sure. So I was in a similar role. I worked my way up over, of course, like 12 years at my last position, to where I had a team, and I was in a similar position as I am today. And I think when I made this switch to a whole new industry and to a new team, and it was a big change. I mean, personally, I was in a big moment of change, and then a big moment of change professionally. And I think it was just sort of realizing I have so much to learn, and I came into this position and I told everybody, I'm going to be asking you guys questions all the time. Yeah. And I want to work together, and the more that we just kind of got in a groove together, it just kind of happened naturally. Yeah. There wasn't a moment, but it was over a course of a year or so of learning this industry that I was like, I love the industry, I love the people I work with, and it was just a great fit, and it helped me grow. They helped me grow.
And did you feel that was like a vulnerable spot for you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was going on in your head, like when you're like, I got to go and tell this team that we're going to do this together? How are they going to perceive me and see me?
Absolutely. And and then I had also been hired by the president here at Athletic Business, so I'm thinking of him as my boss, right. And he wants to see leadership from me. And I think it was just a matter of finding what was right for myself, for our team, and it just kind of happened naturally. Yeah.
So, thank you for answering that. I think that speaks volumes into leadership and what you're putting together at the conference coming up, and giving tools for folks to really elevate their own profession and careers. What does Athletic Business as a brand and its conference as a platform need to amputate in order to elevate to the next level?
Sure. I think there's in industries there's a tendency to just do what's always been done. Mm-hmm. And I think as a show, one thing that we've done well is dropping away any expectation of sort of, I don't know if it's the tradition's the word, but sort of we have to do it the same every year, mm-hmm. or we have to do it the way it's always been done. And I think we change well with the industry and adapt to the challenges. Like, we have to be able to see what our audience, what challenges they're looking at, and those are constantly changing.
Right. Yeah. And what are some of the challenges that you are seeing that you haven't seen in the past?
Sure.
Are you leading through change but feel stuck in the fog? Then you need to be at the Elevate Life Executive Strategy Session, where high-stakes decision makers gather to gain clarity, communicate with confidence, and cut away the clutter holding them back. Join us on Beehive for our next live session. Space is limited. Growth is guaranteed. Sign up now at johnregister.beehiiv.com. Don't just adapt, amputate to elevate.
I mean, I think for our customers, the macroeconomic climate,
sure.
Budgeting, there's always never enough to go around. And so we're always looking at ways that, our attendees can operate more efficiently, create more successful teams, whether they're college rec directors or high school administrators. Mm-hmm. We're always looking at sort of what are these, because when you think about our industries, athletics, fitness and recreation, and all of the, everything that goes with those, there's always some, like COVID was a great example,
sure,
obviously. Right. That changed each and every one of our industries, especially because they're all about getting together and do, wellness regimens and fitness and everything shut down. And so that's what, we kind of just have to look at it as things are always going to change, and we need to let go of the expectation that it has to be done the same way always.
One of the things that seems like it doesn't change is doing less with more.
Sure, exactly, yes.
It seems like that's constant.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a constant when it's trying to change. How have you seen your industry being able to adapt with the cutting away of programs or funding or whatever the thing is for the day,
Sure.
and we're not employees, we can't find the employees. How have you seen them adapt, and then what do you do to help them adapt in those situations?
Sure. You mentioned it when we were speaking earlier. Public-private partnerships are a great example, where you're looking at ways that you can collaborate with other entities to ensure that your community has the resources that it needs to get whatever your job may be done. And we've seen really unique ways that that's happened in our industry. Our magazine is specifically focused on, we're a facilities magazine. So we are always looking at these facilities as hubs of community, whether it be a college rec center, a community rec center, or an athletics facility. And so there are so many different ways that we've seen those facilities come together in ways that make the most out of what resources are available.
Yeah. And what have you learned? I mean, you see these growths from year to year, and thinking about the aggregate of when you first started to where you are right now, what have you seen as a shift that personally has impacted you, so that can help you make the decisions that you need to make? Does that make sense?
Try that one more time.
So where I'm getting at is we're talking about doing more with less.
Sure.
And that's like the constant.
Sure.
But you've seen that over the course of years of doing the show. And so how does that inform you to make your decisions for the next conferences that are coming up?
Sure. So I will say so I'm less involved in the actual organization of the show.
Sure, yeah.
But we've had to continually adapt the show in ways that I mean COVID came along, and we were doing online things. Your friend Ruby, she helped us with like 20 webinars at that time to just continue to reach our audience and say, hey, we're still here. We're still wanting to help you make your way through this and get out the other side. And in the end, I think we did. There was a lot of things like, at that time, like take your fitness center outside, and people were able to work out with spacing and that kind of thing. I don't know if I answered your question, but
no, I think that's right. I mean, I know you're on the editorial side for the magazine, but there's also the shifts that happen that we can see on the floor, on the expo floor, or the attendees that are coming in, and the vibe that keeps coming up, or the questions that keep coming up that need solutions, that need answers. And so with that, I have a whole program we were talking earlier about, people are they're stuck maybe in a reckoning moment where they want things to go back to the way they used to be, or they might be in a revisioning moment where they're thinking about what to do next, or they might be in a renewal moment where they are backs against the wall because they made a commitment to something. So when you're looking at that as like informed decisions, where do you see like the industry right now? Are we at a reckoning? Are we trying to go back the way, oh my gosh, it's shifting again, we got to go, why can't we just do it the way we used to do it? Are we revisioning different ways to do it, or are we, at a renewal spot?
Oh, I think we're in a reckoning, in my opinion. And maybe that's informed by my feeling about just sort of where society is right now. You've got, which we talked about earlier, you got AI, you have just incredible shifts in the way we communicate with social media, and then this is more niche, but like things like esports at the college level, and there's a lot of people who are like, that's not a sport. And, okay, debate that all you want. It is engaging a population of the college community that otherwise would be in their dorm rooms eating Doritos but it's getting them to come out and go to the rec center and engage with the population, and that's a good thing, but there's a lot of resistance. I think maybe when you talk about reckoning, I wonder if part of that is the resistance to change, to, hey, we have to let go of the shore a little bit here, or we're going to be struggling constantly.
Yes, there's a resistance to it. There's also a what's the word I'm looking for? A grieving of what has been lost, and so it's hard for us to get past that because we have to grieve what we think has been gone, and in that new space, I think about this, right? Like I take my own daughter, for example. So she gets a job because of the AI that she's been working on this thing. I think she's playing games, and people are watching her play these games, and they say, you're really good at building these events and things. So she is now an event planner for Marriott.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so she travels all over because she was on this game doing this thing.
Yeah.
And then we see like the military, they come in and swoop in and get the folks that do the flying games, and so they're pilots and they're drones and they're in the room just doing.
Yeah. So
there's I think there's a lot to be said for it if we can just think different about the space we're in and not going back to the way it used to be. When you look at trends and staying power, so what current trends do you think in facility management you believe? No, I'm not going to do that question. Let's do that. We're not going to do that question because I don't want to do that question. Let me see where I want to go. Where I want to go with this. Oh, here's a good one. When you get the feedback from your readers, what's the feedback that you're hearing? Are you on target? Are they pushing you in a different direction, or what do you hear back from your audience?
Sure. So we have a pretty broad audience because we cover fitness, recreation, and athletics. And that can be a hard thing because we kind of have to be jack of all trades.
Sure.
And I think one of the things that our audience craves and needs, and I think that we offer, is we talk to the people who are experts. There's no way that anyone on our editorial team could be an expert in all of the things that we cover. And so anytime that I get feedback from our audience, our reading audience, that is sort of like, we need more of this, or I'm immediately thinking, who are the experts that can give us this? And so there are that's usually when we get a comment that, or feedback from our audience that really is pushing for something that we're not offering. And there's always these things, but I want to immediately go find the experts. I want to talk to them and tell them to talk to me like I'm a 12-year-old and explain this to me so that we can get our audience that.
Well, that sounds like AI to me. So.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Talk to me like I'm a, could you please just.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So when you look at the whole conference, in the expo part, your editorial part, the attendees are coming in. What's like the overall goal that you're hoping that they leave with? What's the big? If you're coming to hear me speak at the Athletic Business Show, don't fly out too fast because I'm staying one more day for something powerful. So on November the 3rd, from 8 a.m. to about 1 p.m., I'm hosting an exclusive executive mastermind in San Diego. We're going to go deep into the frameworks behind the Amputate to Elevate action model and how to articulate your leadership story with precision, power, and presence. Only 5 seats are going to be available. This isn't for the spectators. It's for some serious executives ready to turn insight into impact. Secure your spot now before they are all gone. See you in San Diego. Go forth, inspire your world. Bye for now.
I've thought about, I've been, for the past 20 years almost, I've been going to trade conferences. And, there's times when you look at the amount of physical resources and monetary resources that go into throwing them, and everybody flying everywhere to meet in this one spot. And you occasionally are like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
And then after you spend 3 days with people who are in your industry and are really passionate about what they're doing, whether it be, I used to be in the wireless industry, now I'm in this industry, and you spend 3 days and you're exhausted by the end of it, but you leave and you're like, that was worth it. Because I think the main thing that we try to do each year is adapt our programming, have great keynoters like you, and offer enough social opportunities to bring people together who are going to cross-pollinate, whether it's athletics to recreation or recreation to fitness. I think the great thing that we see when we follow up on our post-show survey is, I met this person and I learned about this, and I can't wait for next year when I'm gonna, get more information on this. And I'm taking so much information back to my community, and we're really sort of enriching communities across the country as people return and they're like, I saw John register the keynote, and like, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about, what do we need to amputate?
That's interesting. You said something earlier that's kind of coming back in my mind about how you go out and find the experts, and it seems that you're bringing the experts here to find
Exactly.
to walk amongst themselves,
Absolutely.
so they can find their own expertise as well. That's awesome. And so, how are you? You were talking earlier also about a lot of different needs of the audience that's coming in. You have vendors, you have the conference attendees. How do you balance that? And don't answer from like what you're doing. Answer from the standpoint of leadership. How do you as a leader try to organize and make sure that everybody's getting what they need, so it can be taken into their own communities when they're trying to go back and lead their own communities?
Sure. Yeah. You wanted me to answer from the show point of view or from?
Let's do both. Let's go. Yeah.
Sure. I think the main thing is our programming. Every year we ask our entire community from all sections, the fitness, the athletics, and the recreation, and we're asking them to submit proposals to present. And we are getting together as a team, editorial as well as the show people, and kind of walking through each one, like, is this relevant? Is this timely? Is this the kind of programming that we're wanting to offer in this moment? Because I think it changes year to year. On the editorial side, because we do talk to the experts, we may not be experts ourselves, but we are able to stay right on the edge of what's coming next. So I think leadership-wise, along with doing that, I think the leadership part comes in keeping an eye open for what's the next 6 months, what's the next year look like, so that we can anticipate and be a little bit ahead of the curve. We may not know everything, but we might have a good indication that, this particular programming or article on AI and what kind of impacts it might have on a fitness center, we're going to offer that from an expert so that our readership or our attendees can be just that much on the edge where they're like, yeah, you know what, I think I'm going to invest in this technology for my facility.
Sure. How do you keep that, again, with the focus on the executive lens, when we hear the words of uncertainty in the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going to happen next. I know what I'm thinking about that because we have things are in flux all the time. So we have, tariffs and how that's going to impact manufacturing and how that's going to impact supply chain and all those things that are going on right now. We don't know what's going to happen. How do you begin to think about ensuring that your folks are equipped with the right mindset around that?
It's cliche, but the only certainty is uncertainty.
Right, yeah.
Right? And I don't know about you, but like just in my life, I found that to be true.
Yeah.
And trying to just relax into that, I think is not being constantly reactive, because you may see uncertainty on the horizon and react to the wrong thing,
Right.
and end up in a worse position than you were. So I think that, just sort of being okay with the fact that change is going to come.
Right.
I mean, 13 seconds.
13 seconds.
coming.
13 seconds everybody takes to go from the first hurdle, the first start block to where I got hurt to make a change. I always think that, and controlling what I can control.
Absolutely.
Because I can't control what anybody else really does. I can control how I respond to
Sure.
things. And so I always try to keep myself, okay, what is going on that I know I can do right now in my world that's going to help other people and breathe life into their atmosphere. And that's the whole message, right? It's really to just control that element, because you can't go back and change something because it's done.
No.
So we can begin to have a new vision around it, and then we have to make a commitment to that vision and what we know. Let's see, I have one more question I want to ask you. Oh, that's a good one. So what's one thing that you are preparing for that you think that no one else is right now?
I mean, I could go easy and just say, I know everybody thinks they're preparing for AI and where this is headed, but I kind of see an extreme. I mean, I like to sort of, I'm big into futurism and the technology, and I'm always just sort of trying to look at that. And I think it's going to be a radical change for humanity. I think we are in a reckoning right now where everything is going to change in the next 5 to 10 years.
We're not even here.
This is all AI.
These are our avatars.
No, but I mean, I'm open to that. I don't see any reason in resisting. This is our human curiosity and intelligence has got us to this point, and there's got to be a reason for it. I don't think it's evil. I don't think it's immoral. I think it's where we're at, and we have to react and maintain our humanity throughout it. And I think we will.
Yeah, I have said that if you're doing your business by stamp and letter, you probably didn't adapt to Google. Or email, and we're in the same position that we are right there.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And this has been fantastic.
No.
Is there anything else that you would like to share before we
No,
wrap this up?
I'm looking forward to November in San Diego and reconnecting with you. It'll be great. And all of our readers and all of our attendees. It's always a great time. So I'm looking forward to it, yeah. And I'm really glad that you came. This is great.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Yeah,
So
good.
I just want to meet you all. Well, everybody, we've been talking with Andy Berg, and what a great conversation. Maybe we'll go back in time. We'll say rewind the tape or push forward on the 8-track, and you can hear this some more. Some of y'all will know what I mean by that. And we'll talk to you a little bit later. Go forth, inspire your world. Bye for now.